teaching, which we have in this country, but also platforms on which to present themselves to the public. We don't yet have those platforms outside of one platform, the National Arts Festival, where we can present the burgeoning genius talent of our elementary school students. And within that is an opportunity. If we have somebody, and this is a challenge to my artistic community, if somebody in the dance world says, I'm going to create an opportunity, a platform for young dancers to present their craft, that becomes a business. That becomes an institution. If somebody decides, okay, I'm going to do that for pianists, I'm going to do that for violinists, I'm going to do that for actors, and suddenly you grow from having nothing for a certain age group to present themselves to artistically, you provide an opportunity for them to present themselves on a national platform, and by extension, those who run those organizations now turn those into businesses. Now, I didn't have that opportunity to start performing for a public until I was in high school, which by the time someone's in high school in another community, they would have already done their first recitals, they would have already done their first mini tours. And in our country, we think, whoa, at 8, 9? No, absolutely. That's commonplace in countries like the United States and China and others, and they're no more talented than us. I'm living proof of that. But here is the other piece. As a high school student, I would have been afforded, if I was born in another country, to have a festival experience. What is a festival experience? A festival experience is where myself as a young talent are connected with people who are involved in the industry on the international stage. That is common practice in other countries. Myself, I did not get the opportunity to attend a festival until I was 26 years old. And I am no longer 26, even though I still look like it. But I want to say that herein lies another opportunity. Who are the Bahamian musicians, dancers, and visual artists who are providing those festivals so that our burgeoning talent can connect with those on the global level? So those are the kinds of things that I would like to see, and within those lies opportunities for enterprise.
Dion, thank you so much for coming on the show today and sharing so much information with us.
Thank you so much, Rhea, for having me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for watching today's episode of You and Your Money. Don't forget to follow You and Your Money on social media and tune in next week for a brand new episode. I'm Rhea Christina. See you next time.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
ZNS News is linked up by BTC. Whether it's chatting, gaming, content creating, or working smart to get things done, link up to stay connected with BTC.
Grand Bahama to bear the brunt of now Hurricane Nicole. Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lapinder, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. Our live coverage of Hurricane Nicole continues at this hour as the system holds true to predictions of strengthening to hurricane status, Florida bound. Evacuations, power outages, impassable roads, and flight cancellations, all the result of her impact on the Bahamas. But before we delve deeper into that, let's go to Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean for Nicole's latest coordinates. Basil?
Makisha, the coordinates just in Nicole. It was located at 26.6 degrees north, longitude 78.4 west. That put the eye of Nicole some 20 miles to the east of Freeport, Grand Bahama. Nicole continues to move towards the west at some 12 miles per hour. Maximum sustained winds have increased to 75 miles per hour. The good news is we don't anticipate any further intensification of the system before it makes landfall on the coast of Florida late tonight or during the early part of the morning. But however, we will continue to experience large swells associated with the system over the next few days, which will create problems for motorists traversing the coastal roads of the islands in the Northwest Bahamas over the next several days, particularly at high tide when it is more pronounced. So we're asking motorists to exercise extreme caution over the next several days. In terms of the warnings, hurricane warnings remain in effect for Grand Bahama and Abaco. We have a tropical storm warning in effect for the island of Bimini. And that will continue until the all clear is given. Once again, we're asking residents in Grand Bahama, Bimini, and also in Abaco, which is now on the backside of this system, and they will continue to experience periodical rain showers during the course of the night, but things will improve over Abaco as we head into the early morning hours. Makisha?
I understand that Hurricane Nicole is a system of mixed characteristics or abnormal characteristics. Can you speak to that for us? Explain that for us.
Well, mixed in the sense that it transitioned from a subtropical low-pressure system into a tropical low-pressure system, and is now a full-fledged hurricane. And the difference between the two is that with the subtropical, the core is of cold nature, and with the tropical system, we have a warm core system. So that is the dynamical difference between the two systems, Makisha.
As usual, we'll hear more from Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean later in our newscast. Meantime, anxious, worried, but strong. The sentiments of many Abaco residents today patiently riding out the impact of Hurricane Nicole in their shuttered homes. Now, Anthony Smith spoke to residents on the northern end of that island via phone. Here's that report.
As the wind speed increases and the weather picks up, it's a scene all too familiar for residents on Abaco.
Docks are covered, little small rocks in front of keys are covered. The wind, the shipwreck, the boats, you would find that sails and everything that is loose are being torn apart.
The force of Nicole, strong, even as the system looms some 25 miles east of the northern islands at the Met's 12 p.m. report. Rain combined with king tides resulting in severe floods, impacting the fishing villages of Blackwood, Little Abaco, and Green Turtle Key, where residents told us as the waters rose, there was only time to act.
Downtown Green Turtle Key, we would say 45% of it is underwater in the low areas. As you come into the ferry dock area, they are underwater, some places of 4.5 feet.
We had to actually move. We only had enough time, and that was like around 8 a.m. We only had enough time to get out of our home and up to higher grounds because our house is flooded. So downtown is basically flooded already.
It's a mad dash to safety, which immediately transports residents back to 2019, when supercharged Hurricane Dorian stalled over and continued its assault on the island for hours on end.
It's overwhelming. It feels like we're going back through the same thing.
It still brings that trauma or makes your mind, unsettled or uneasy because you don't know when it's going to escalate or deteriorate or get even worse. You're just praying that it remains tropical storm or Category 1.
And even now, residents continue to brace, comforted only by the fact that this time around, they're standing on guard, better prepared.
The thing I can say is I feel as if Abaco people didn't let their guards down. Even though they heard it was going to be a tropical storm, they prepared greatly for whatever was to come.
Nicole is expected to reach Category 1 strength while passing over Abaco and Grand Bahama. We now toss it over to our team in the north.
Tropical storm Nicole is currently striking Grand Bahama, bringing heavy rains, dangerous winds, and we were even told to brace for possible tornadic activity. I'm standing here now outside the Harold de Gregory building on East Mall Drive, and it seems as though the weather is deteriorating by the second. But we know that all hands are on deck, as we learned at the EOC meeting today, where agencies and departments like Social Services, the police, the Defense Force, the Ministry of Tourism, BASRA, the Ministry for Grand Bahama, Ministry for Works, and many more were working hand in hand to ensure that all bases are covered. Now, as many residents were told several times today to stay indoors and find the nearest shelter, we spoke to a tourism official who confirmed that there are nearly 600 tourists on Grand Bahama, spread across 9 hotels on the island. And the ministry's main focus now is ensuring that those visitors are properly accommodated and safe throughout this storm. We also spoke to BASRA officials who confirmed that they are armed and ready in case the need arises for a search and rescue team. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Simone Davis. We're now going over to our Aja Quant on the Fishing Hole Road, who's going to give us an update on conditions in that area. Aja?
Well, we've made it here at the Fishing Hole Road in Grand Bahama, and as you can see, it is flooded. Anyone wanting to pass through cannot at this time, especially if you are coming out of West Grand Bahama. Now, the conditions have worsened. I mean, it is getting worse by the hour. As you can see, the winds are picking up. Now, earlier today, we would have went to 8 Mile Rock, and it was a bit on the quiet end. However, now it is definitely getting worse. West End was already flooding while we were there. Now, earlier today, Met officials would have noted that tomorrow at 4 p.m. would have been the all clear. However, at this moment, I don't think that is going to happen, but we will just have to see. Reporting live here at the Fishing Hole Road in Grand Bahama. We are about to get out of this storm, but we're going to throw it over to the nation's capital, Makushla. We're here.
Well, thanks, Aja. Well, still on the ground for us in Abaco, which we understand fared well overall, is our Desmond Saunders, who tonight speaks to the disruption of essential services impacting that island's tourism.
Nicole pounded Abaco on Tuesday. The dangerous cyclone barreled towards Abaco with wind gusts of up to 75 miles per hour.
People are apprehensive. There's this feeling of anxiety that this is only 3.5 years and we're faced with another storm.
Authorities made last-minute pleas for those in low-lying areas.
We would have sent out notices throughout the community advising persons of the hurricane shelters where they're located and the capacity. We also would have ensured that the ferry services would have suspended their service.
Over 600 residents hunkered down in schools, churches, and other emergency shelters. Raging sea gusts and large swells made this Bay Street and main ferry hub impassable.
It is a little bit nerve-wracking, just to say the least, because all of this obviously looks a bit scary.
Nicole producing rainfall amounts of up to 5 inches. These viral videos and pictures showing Nicole's fury. Foxtown, Hopetown, Marsh Harbor, Memorial Plaza, Little Harbor impacted by dangerous swells with rising waters moving inland. Gary Greensley, security manager at the Abaco Beach Resort, caught in the dangerous storm.
We've been experiencing, obviously, a lot of wind, rain, sporadic rain over the course of the night, last night, but now we see today it has increased. But it's, we've been prepared here at Abaco Beach Resort.
Well, again, that's our Desmond Saunders there on the ground in Abaco. And be sure to stay tuned to the ZNS Network for continued coverage of now Hurricane Nicole with our team in the north immediately following this newscast. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Stay with us.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with this.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
We just got the new fiber internet speed bump. Now my internet's so fast I can watch 2 4K movies, play video games, and browse on my computer at the same time.
Yeah, my internet's so fast I could download a whole season of shows before my noodles done cooking.
Mine's so fast when I go to church online, service actually over early.
Mine's so fast when I'm working from home, 5 o'clock, come before 3.
Sound like you got this BTC fiber internet speed bump like me.
But it's so fast, I had to have it.
Current fiber internet bundle customers now have as much as 3 times the speed. Totally free. Link up with BTC.
We need to save.
Be happy! Save at KFC with the one-piece chicken box fill-up for only $5.95. Enjoy genuine savings and the genuine flavor of KFC chicken fried to golden perfection with crispy fries, a buttery biscuit, and an ice-cold Pepsi. Only at KFC Nassau.
Why is it important to have a financial plan?
I mean, it's a roadmap by which you go through the whole analysis in terms of how much you make, what do you spend, and therefore what's available in terms of discretionary income. It allows you to come up with a plan as to what you're going to do with that discretionary income. There is a plan, and if you stray away from the plan, you still have a roadmap to get back onto your plan.
Visit ourwacx.com or scan the QR code on the screen to start investing today.
I used to think of the bank as my personal ATM machine. If I wanted a new car, new furniture, a weekend trip to Miami, no problem. Just max out the credit card or top up my loan. I was a big baller until I realized that 75% of my salary was going to pay back all those loans. Fidelity's personal financial coaching was the best solution. Fidelity gave me a plan with a debt consolidation loan that has a built-in savings that pays 5% interest. I now only have one low monthly payment plus money in my pocket. Give Fidelity Bank a call at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit any of Fidelity's locations or visit a website at fidelitygroup.com.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home health care supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
As indicated, Grand Bahama now under the gun as Hurricane Nicole hurtles at Florida. Our Lloyd Allen has the latest on what that island can expect and how the island of Abaco fared. And we'll hear more about that later in the newscast. Well, meantime, while the extent of damage is still uncertain, one thing has been determined. So far, there are no injuries and no deaths. And this may very well be attributed to the fact that as shelters were activated, hundreds sought shelter. Carla Palmer tells us more.
Across those islands impacted by Tropical Storm Nicole, hundreds, according to authorities, accessed the hurricane shelters. Director of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Captain Stephen Russell, says a total of 528 residents heeded the warning and sought safer space.
We know that some 27 shelters were activated.
Central Grand Bahama, Christ the King Special Needs Shelter, 11 persons.
That's Chief Welfare Officer with the Department of Social Services, Andrea Newbold, as she provided a breakdown on the number of residents occupying each shelter throughout the affected islands. Of all 27 shelters made available, Central Abaco Primary was most utilized by some 250 residents, while Church of God in West Grand Bahama was used the least, with just one person seeking safe haven.
Friendship Tabernacle Central Abaco Primary has reached its capacity. Therefore, Patrick J. Bethel High School in Murphytown was activated.
As predicted by meteorologists, storm surge rose 3 to 5 feet higher above normal levels, resulting in flooding in most low-lying areas like Central Andros, where in fact some residents had to be evacuated, according to local government representative Therese Boodle-Lang.
Eastern Grand Bahama weather conditions remain moderate, the same with sparsely light showers in various areas and increasing gusts of wind. Residents had to be evacuated, additional residents out of Eastern Grand Bahama.
While power outages may have been experienced as a direct impact of the storm, in some cases, Director of Field Operations at Bahamas Power and Light, Sterling Moss, says cutting power was intentional.
As conditions deteriorated, consistent with our control shutdown strategy, these areas were shut down. These areas will remain offline until the storm passes.
Back here in New Providence, the coastal shorelines of western New Providence took a beating, with rough waves overtaking the seaboard and spilling into the street and forcing road closures.
On Goslow Bend, there was at least 8 to 10 inches of standing water.
Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister, with responsibility for disaster risk reduction, the Honorable Miles Laroda, on reports by local weather experts, anticipate the system leaving the Bahamas by late Wednesday evening.
Right now, our thoughts and prayers are with those residents of Grand Bahama and Abaco. We pray that Almighty God protect them.
By your guidance and protect them. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
Well, at this juncture, we'll check back in with our Desmond Saunders, who again is covering Hurricane Nicole for us over in Abaco. Desmond?
Well, a pleasant good evening, Makusala, and good evening, Bahamas. This system is not letting up. Since 9 this morning, we have had heavy winds, heavy rains. Nicole is putting a pounding on Abaco. I just got information now from the Abaco district, or one of the Abaco district leaders, and this is to advise that BPL teams are mobilized in carrying out assessments on the overhead infrastructure with the intent to safely restore supplies to all areas. Now, like I told you early this morning in our broadcast, that we've had some power outages in some Abaco districts, and so this message coming from BPL, and if you live in Abaco, you can be assured that BPL is carrying out its mobilization effort. Also want to remind you, I'm getting word that a high-level delegation will be in the Abaco district tomorrow to carry out assessments. That's what's happening here. Marsh Harbor, Abaco. Desmond Saunders, ZNS Network.
Well, Desmond, thanks so much for that update. Meantime, Senior Nursing Officer at the Ministry of Health, Antoinette Cumberbatch, says healthcare teams have visited vulnerable populations on both Grand Bahama and Abaco to ensure they have the necessary medication.
Our vulnerable population, inclusive of our clients with NCDs, those with disabilities, mental health challenges, our elderlies, children, and our lower socio-economic groupings, and those residing in low-lying areas and on the coastal areas have been advised.
Tout le monde qui est grand monde ou pas capable marcher avec disability, ils viennent parler avec eux et by medication.
Those persons have been advised to seek safe haven in our available shelters or relatives in secured areas.
Sou grand monde, sou pas capable parler, sou pas capable marcher, sou gain disability, ils besoin aller dans abri pour cycler là, shelter rester là pour.
Our satellite phones and other forms of communications are available. Generators have been refueled and are standby in case of power outages.
Now, still on storm news, Marines are assisting the emergency operations centers in Abaco and Grand Bahama. They're also conducting roving patrols on those islands.
Defense Force ships remain on hurricane avoidance.
Tout bâtiment pour Defense Force dans hurricane avoidance.
HMBS Lawrence Major is a part of this flotilla.
HMBS Lawrence Major, ça c'est non bâtiment.
She has on board numerous dry food and water supply.
Il y a un gros, il y a manger.
heavy-duty equipment,
avec equipment,
and a Royal Bahamas Defense Force impact team.
and you get moun depuis cyclone get the passe.
This will allow for the HMBS Lawrence Major to proceed directly to an impacted island.
So si Zule gen effect nan cyclone c'est ça la bâtiment ça la venir tout droit.
And this will happen once weather permits. One of our international partners has pledged their support to assist with aerial medical evacuations should the need arise.
Well, high winds, sea surges, rain, and flooding. Now, the reality of the intensity and frequency of hurricanes as evidenced in Nicole. And it all has its roots in climate change, a critical issue threatening the very existence of small island developing states, an argument Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis continues to push at every turn. Speaking on the sidelines of the high-level COP27 meeting in Egypt, the Prime Minister admonished residents of Abaco and Grand Bahama to take heart.
Remember, right, that the Lord is not going to put on us more than we can bear. I understand the trauma that you're undergoing now, the recall that you would be having after Dorian with this visiting of Nicole. Just please stay safe, adhere to the warnings. I want to thank the acting Prime Minister, Chester Cooper, for his efforts to ensure that the word got out and taking the necessary action that is necessary to ensure that lives are not lost and damage is minimal.
Now, the Prime Minister has been in frequent talks with the Met Office. He's also received pictures from concerned residents, all of which he says breaks his heart. Upon returning home,
The first priority is to assess, get an update on what's going on and address the normalization of what has been disrupted by this hurricane.
well, the all clear has been given for New Providence, and that means schools here will resume tomorrow. The Ministry of Education indicating in a release that all schools and offices on islands not impacted by the storm will reopen. However, those on Grand Bahama, Abaco, Bimini, and the Berry Islands will remain closed until they are cleared. The public's reminded to check the ministry's social media platforms for updates. Meantime, Bahamas Oaksfield campus also resumes tomorrow, and this includes the Chapter 1 bookstore and the Harry Seymour Library and Information Center. However, UB North and Grand Bahama will remain closed on Thursday. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more.
For hurricane season, we got impact windows and doors. For protection, just come to our store. Plus we got tiles to pretty up your walls and your floors. We'll help you brighten up for that big bad storm. Porcelain tiles, blank tiles, mosaic tiles, a variety of styles. Before things get right, they gotta be rough. That's why we got the best deals in the whole Bahamas. Hey, hey.
Is someone gonna get that?
Hello.
Hello. So nice of you to have cleaned up for us. Hi, baby.
We're like in-laws that don't show up unannounced.
Don't worry. I've got this.
CG Atlantic. Good like that.
There's no better time than now to update the look of your home. Right now at Tile King, you will save 20% on countertops and tiles, 15% on mosaics, and 10% on brick pavers. This amazing sale is happening right now at Tile King, located in the Builders Mall, number 69 Wolf Road. Sale ends on November 12th. So hurry on in so you don't miss out.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Well, Hurricane Nicole, an opportunity for those who defend the environment to issue a reminder that storms will persist in line with the impact of climate change. It's an issue officials from the Bahamas National Trust addressed earlier today with our Jimenita Swain.
They are coming later. The patterns are different. They intensify very rapidly, which is why I think a lot of our friends in the north were very worried and didn't want to stay there because they had the experience of how climate change Dorian, was so unpredictable.
Executive Director of the Bahamas National Trust, Eric Carey, speaking to the reality the Bahamas faces with the impact of climate change, namely weather conditions like Tropical Storm Nicole.
These storms are coming because the planet is warmer, the sea surface is warmer. That's because as a people, we are changing our planet. We change our planet, we negatively impact it, with global warming temperatures, etc. These intense and regular and out of character storms, late season storms, are becoming more of the norm.
And while storms pique the interest of some, Carey subscribes to the well-held view that safety is paramount.
I saw people this morning heading west on West Bay Street, and I had seen earlier videos, and why are these people heading into this? They're going to destroy their cars. And in fact, if you saw one of the videos that was filmed by the plaza by Saunders Beach, real big waves were coming over. A rogue wave could have actually caused some serious damage and personal injury. So people should stay at home. Let the officials from NEMA, from the police, defense force, and let the media share the stories and share the information. These things need to be taken very seriously. I have a colleague who is here with us in Nassau who went through Dorian, and he was trying to figure out should he go back home to prepare yesterday. But he made the decision that he was going to bring his family here because they are traumatized.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Jimenita Swain.
Bahamas Air flights to Abaco, Grand Bahama, Orlando, and West Palm Beach all canceled for tomorrow, Thursday, November 10th. Normal operations to resume on Friday, November 11th. A Bahamas Air statement noting that this considering, though, that closed airports are reopened. Quite a number of Bahamians residing in Atlanta, Georgia, South and North Carolina hunkering down as Hurricane Nicole strengthens before making landfall there later tonight, early Thursday morning. Consulate General for Atlanta, Anthony Moss, says his team is closely monitoring the storm and will continue providing updates and information on Nicole's intensity to Bahamians living within that jurisdiction.
Here in Atlanta, we have advised the Bahamian people in Georgia and the Carolinas about the upcoming impending storm, which continues to develop into a hurricane, about their awareness and their safety. We have also said to them that in the event if there should be lost or misplaced of any documents, that we here in Atlanta will continue to be here to assist them with refurbishing those documents. In addition to that, we continue to pray for their safety, whether they are in Georgia or in the Carolinas. We beg them to kindly pay attention to the news as to the hurricane as it continues to travel and would be coming into our areas.
Mother Nature, an unwelcomed visitor in western New Providence, as seen earlier. Our Charles Fisher was up and about in that area earlier today. The details are in this report.
We started off here in the area of West Bay Street mainly in the area of Orange Hill. And as you can see in the back road, it is impossible. Even though some trucks and cars were still trying to get through, some we even saw flooded on the side of the street. High seas and waves, and for sure that meant the seas were behaving very unruly as the waves were making their way onto the road. That resulted in the streets being littered with debris, sand, weed, and rocks. Even with all that debris in the road, motorists were still trying to maneuver their way through. It was not smooth sailing for all, as we noticed this red Jeep stalling out on the road. There were many curious onlookers coming out to see just what was happening. One of those, a longtime resident, Tyrone says.
I was seeing it, man. I live out here all my life, and that's more than 50 years, and never seen it like this. And I think tide is low right now, so when tide gets high, it's going to really be worse.
You came out here just to be a curious onlooker. Some people trying to get through the road, and they can't get through.
Yeah, that's a curious onlooker, because like I said, I live right up the road there, and I'm trying to see what's coming my way. Because right now, I know I got to go now and make more preparation for this. Because like I say, tide is low, and this full moon, anytime you see full moon like this, I know what it's all about. I born and grow this way.
You talk about the way you've seen it. We've had storms pass through here, and it wasn't like this?
Never like this. One time we had a little flood come by, but never like this. You know, when you see this pass by now, the whole area is going to be brown. That means the salt water that's washed everything away. And this will be the second time I had to redo my whole lawn. So it's really bad.
Why do you think people are not heeding the precaution of persons and not passing away and still going through?
Well, like I see some of them now, they saying they got to get home. So really, if you got to get home, you got to go. So that's like me right now. I got to get back home now.
Andres Acosta Omadi, visiting from Kamalami Key, one of the many persons just observing, and he was actually enjoying the view.
Everybody likes a storm. Lucky isn't too bad, but the waves are spectacular here. Today it's good. We're all residents of viewing right now, seeing the debris in the road, and the car got stuck.
Some people might say crazy being on your why are you watching this?
We are taking relevant precautions. We're not making it stupid. But it's not too bad.
A lot of motorists have been trying to pass this area this morning. What have you noticed?
I mean, I wouldn't drive along this road. It's a bit too flooded. You know, there's one car right behind us that's got stuck. There's a lot of debris in the road. I wouldn't drive across this road today. You want to stay inland. I don't know how flooded it is inland from the rain. But here it's a bit dangerous.
Up the road at the point of the caves, passing motorists had to watch out for the waves as high as 5 feet in the air. On the other side of the street, at the caves, it appeared as if a new beach was formed. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Charles Fisher.
Well, over in the south, we found residents embracing the time together as the threat as Hurricane Nicole kept some away from their work posts and children out of classrooms. For more, we go to LaDawn Davis.
It's business as usual here in South Beach as residents are not only cleaning fish, playing dominoes, but get this, a number of kids were walking the shoreline just to see how far Tropical Storm Nicole has been here in the capital. Now, we spoke to Derek Arena, who says he's praying for the best for residents over in Abaco and Freeport.
Abaco and Freeport, they need to take all the precautions that is necessary for them. You know, we could say all we want to say by being out of harm's way, but these guys who are in harm's way, they need to be cautious and be careful and take all the time they need to be safe and put their stuff, you know, secure all their belongings and so forth like that.
Now, despite the fact that Tropical Storm Nicole will put a beating on Freeport and Abaco, Arana says the Berry Islands will feel very little effects.
Berry Islands is fine, and probably Bimini later on tonight will feel some effects, but other than that, I think it's just overrated. You know, we've had worse stuff happen before here, and, you know, we didn't have any problems. No flooding, no damage, nobody putting up no shutters, so... You know, it's going to be going in a couple hours.
Residents who frequent the area for fun-filled activities and to enjoy the natural breeze say they're happy to escape the wrath of yet another dangerous storm and remain hopeful that it stays that way until the end of the hurricane season. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm LaDawn Davis.
There's more to come. In the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report returns.
watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
We just got the new fiber internet speed bump. Now my internet so fast I can watch 2 4K movies, play video games, and browse on my computer at the same time.
Yeah, my internet so fast I could download a whole season of shows before my noodles run cooking.
Mine so fast when I go to church online, service actually over early.
Mine so fast when I'm working from home, 5 o'clock, come before 3.
Sound like you got this BTC fiber internet speed bump like me.
But it's so fast, I had to have it.
Current fiber internet bundle customers now have as much as 3 times the speed. Totally free. Link up with BTC.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Officials from the Department of Local Government keeping in close contact with Family Island administrators, particularly those in the path of the storm. And this particularly considering reports of flooding and other issues in Grand Bahama, Andros, and Abaco. Local government rep Therese Budulai gave us this update from North Eleuthera.
We were able to receive reports from Administrator Wilson showing a group of visitors who had to take a ferry into Gregory Town, as well as showing the rough condition at the Glass Window Bridge. Also coming out of Abaco, videos provided by Administrator Dames, we were clearly able to see that there are serious and concerning coastal flooding issues in Little Abaco, Blackwood, and Grand Toe Key. Reports from Grand Key indicate increasing winds and power outage. West Grand Bahama Administrator Ricardo Ferguson is also reporting power outage. Additionally, Administrator Roll is also advising of serious coastal flooding issues in central Abaco.
Now, telecommunications, an essential tool during a storm, and Alive says all systems are in place to ensure its lines remain up. The company's Chief Information Officer, Dwayne Davis, says up to this afternoon there were no outages. However, once the storm passes, a post-assessment will be conducted. On Abaco and Grand Bahama, all Alive sites are running on generators in the event of a power cut. Further, its backup phones and satellite phones are charged up and ready should the need arise. Alive's command center is 24 hours until the all clear is given. Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Basil?
Good evening, Makisha. We're under cloudy skies. We have a temperature of 80 degrees, relative humidity 83%, westerly winds at 20 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,002.5 millibars, that's 29.61 inches, and the pressure is rising. Temperatures around the family violence this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 76 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Brentwood, Key, and Marsh Harbor, Abaco. The Berry Islands at 82 degrees. Alderstown, Bimini, 80 degrees, 82 in Harbor Island. Rock Sandy Lutra, 84 degrees. Fresh Creek, Central Andros at 80, 79 degrees in Kemp Space, South Andros, and Black Point in the Exumas. 84 degrees in Alderstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rumkey. Georgetown, Exuma, 81 degrees, 85 in Ragged Island, Clarence, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, McWarner, 83, Acklands, 83, Matthew Town, Inagua, 82, and the Texas and Caicos Islands at 83 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the northwestern parts of our country tonight, the winds are going to be northwest at 30 to 40 knots, and primarily in the extreme northwestern parts of our country, very rough seas at 7 to 12 feet over the ocean. High tide takes place at 8:18 tonight. In the central and southeastern islands tonight, northwesterly winds 20 to 25 knots, wave height 7 to 9 feet over the ocean, and we ask the small craft to just simply stay in port until the all clear is given. And then tomorrow, Thursday, in the northwestern parts of our country, we will see a southeast to south flow at 30 to 40 knots, but that will be decreasing in the afternoon. Wave heights again very rough at 8 to 10 feet. High tide 8:42 in the morning, low tide at 3:12 in the afternoon. And for the central and southeastern islands, southeasterly winds 15 to 25 knots, and the wave height 7 to 9 feet over the ocean. And as we take you into Friday in the northwest Bahamas, we see a nice reduction in those winds, but we will still have caution flags in place on Friday for the northwest Bahamas. The winds will be southeast at 15 to 20 knots, and the wave height 4 to 7 feet. High tide on Friday, 9:22 in the morning, with a low tide at 3:54 in the afternoon. For the central Bahamas, a more southerly flow at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. And in the southeast, Bahamas southeast at 10 to 15, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. For your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance, but stay tuned. Your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Are you a contractor or new homeowner? Maybe you need a few pieces of lumber for your DIY projects. Welcome to Capital Lumber, the newest building materials company in the Bahamas. Located on Parkgate Road, Nassau, helping you to maximize your savings on lumber, cement, shingles, tools, and much more. Your one-stop shop for all your building essentials. With free delivery to the mail booth, visit us today. Capital Lumber, build strong.
NBA League Pass is the coolest way to watch the hottest game there is. When threes rain down and superstars heat up. When clutch jumpers splash and your team is fire. You'll be there for up to 40 games a week, any way you want to watch. NBA League Pass. Order now.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best-kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Global Learning Exchange can help make your education dreams a reality. Enroll now, and your first course is complimentary. Sign up for a free information session today to learn more.
I've been blown away. Totally love the vibe to really be able to lead this process. I feel a great sense of gratitude around being able to have Shelly to be here with us.
This event was one that you had to be here.
You know, anytime that I am able to spend time with especially young women who have aspirations and things they want to achieve, it is just always wonderful. So this has been a terrific experience today.
Massive swells, high winds, and short squalls of heavy rain. Those are the sights some onlookers at Arawak Key were greeted to earlier today as they took in the impact of Nicole on the nation's capital. Our Anthony Smith was there as folks filled in to the shoreline. Here's the story.
Even as Tropical Storm Nicole has shifted her cone of concern far away from New Providence, the impact of those outer bands could still be felt.
It's very windy and very bad. Like one of my friends here, there's water spots out there. It's this water trampoline, and like that took that straight from off the ground and bring it straight up on the beach. I'm talking about from the dirt, like you could see the waves. The waves was coming all over the island over there.
The proof of Nicole's near brush with the capital strewn all over roads earlier today. Dirt and debris covering the stretch of Arawak Key and Junkanoo Beach, lining western Esplanade.
It's climate change. And we see the effects.
This is the rain. The ocean cleans itself out by throwing up all this old stuff and all like that.
Now, this area where we are standing, it's a sidewalk, usually clear for pedestrians to enjoy their morning or evening stroll. But as you can see here, it's filled with sand and debris, a sight similar to much of West Bay Street.
But even as residents pair towards the shore in curiosity, anxiety settles in.
I'm praying for them, the folks in Africa and them. That's all we could do, that's for sure. Because Dorian ain't too long gone, a couple of years ago. And they got to go through that same thing again, so God be with them.
I just hope that they're okay and everything is going good for them.
A prayer for fellow countrymen, oceans, and swells away. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Antoinette Smith.
Well, on a lighter note, if you're a DIY enthusiast looking for a way to improve your at-home construction skills, this next story may be for you. Here's our Amajal Knowles.
CBS Bahamas is doing its part to equip residents with the adequate knowledge they need through their CBS Bahamas Workshop series in conjunction with MGM Construction. The series seeks to help interested individuals sharpen their construction skills while providing necessary tips and safety lessons. The fall edition kicked off October 15th and will run until November 26th.
So what you're seeing is actually the Falls series of our overall CBS Pro Store workshop series, and basically allows us to offer classes to our customers and those around in our community to better enhance their skills, to learn about safety, and just to get more knowledge on areas that they need to.
Gomez, she adds that a notable high turnout of female participants was a welcome sign.
We have a lot of women signing up, and we're very happy about that. We actually plan to expand on that later on in the year, but for Saturday morning, we have always a good turnout. I mean, when we actually open it up on our social media, it was maxed out in 48 hours. So we expected a good turnout, and we're happy that people are enjoying it and able to come out and actually learn today.
Gomez says that more initiatives such as these are definitely on the horizon.
A big part of the CBS Pro Slot that's on Robinson Road is really big in there to our heart, because we actually started out in Robinson Road in 1973. And so we came back home to this community and we said that we want to offer initiatives that allow our community to participate with us. And so therefore this workshop came about, and as we grow it, we'll expand it to allow more people to come, include more instructors, open up to more sessions and topics, just so that people can have a better overall well-rounded idea of what they want to do. And just for people in the community to have something to do and to learn. It's basically like learning a trade, a skill that they can have forever, and so we're happy to be able to provide that to our community.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Amajal Knowles.
The Bahamas Tonight, the national report returns after this break.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant here to educate you on the do's and don'ts at the service station. Here's what you don't do. Do not pull up from the pump without first checking that the nozzle has been removed from your car. Because if you pop this, that's about $600,000 to $30,000 to replace. These things ain't cheap. What you want to do is make sure that the nozzle has been removed, or just wait for the universal sign, which is the double tap.
Being the CFO at this young age, it really is very fulfilling to me, and it really shows that the hard work, the hours that I put in my career, they really paid off. Having such young persons in such a key role really shows that the board of directors have a lot of trust in the leadership of the young people. Being committed to excellence means that you put all of your effort into whatever it is you're doing to get the best benefit out of that task or anything you're doing in life.
Almost every journey starts with your car.
We spend most of the early stages of our lives anticipating getting our first set of wheels. When that moment finally comes, let AID be there for all your auto needs. Make it yours by accessorizing, maintaining, and repairing your car with AID. Whether you're a professional mechanic, a recent graduate, a full-time mom, or an I can fix that kind of guy. Or if you're completely clueless about what your car needs, AID will assist in providing a large variety of auto parts, a diagnostic center, and great customer service. For all life's auto journeys, we're here. AID, all you really need and more.
We just got the new fiber internet speed bump. Now my internet so fast I can watch 2 4K movies, play video games, and browse with my computer at the same time.
Yeah, my internet so fast I could download a whole season of shows before my noodles run cooking.
Mine so fast when I go to church online, service actually over early.
Mine so fast when I'm working from home, 5 o'clock, come before 3.
Sound like you got this BTC fiber internet speed bump like me.
But it's so fast, I had to have it.
Current fiber internet bundle customers now have as much as 3 times the speed. Totally free. Link up with BTC.
Only one network.
This used to be the waiting terminal for the airport. It's now gone.
We have the most experienced team covering hurricane.
But when Hurricane Irma makes landfall here in New Providence in a few hours,
we cover the entire Bahamas before, during, and after the storm. One network covers every island rocket. We are the best because we have the best. For hurricane coverage, there's only one network. The Zetas Network.
Hey guys, it's that time of year again, the Atlantic hurricane season. Are you ready? Here's another ZNS hurricane readiness tip to help you prepare. Edward Albury, Vice President with responsibility for claims at J.S. Johnson, lets us know what insurance coverage we could have if we need to live elsewhere after a storm hits while our home is being repaired.
Under the hurricane peril, additional living expenses is not covered. It's covered under fire and escape of water losses, but under the hurricane peril loss, it's not. However, it can be added in for an additional premium. And that's probably worth it, considering that once you have that cover, it'll pay up to 15%, say, of the sum insured for rental or hotel accommodation while the home is being repaired. So if we use our same figure that we did before, $200,000, so 15% is $30,000. So you have that $30,000 buffer to provide for hotel or rental while the home is being repaired. So the contractor will come and say, oh, listen, it'll take 5 to 6 months to repair the home. So you will have that money there ready to pay for those accommodations to cover that period.
And does our policy help with debris removal after a storm?
Debris removal, clearing the site and making it more inhabitable, that is covered under the policy already.
This has been another ZNS Hurricane Readiness Tip to prepare you for the storm.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, Nicole now some 20 miles to the east of Freeport, moving towards the west at 12 miles per hour. Maximum steaming has increased to 75 miles per hour, but the good news is we don't anticipate any further intensification of the system as it continues to move west and heading towards the Florida Peninsula. However, we can anticipate that we will continue to have large swells impacting the islands of the northwest Bahamas and the central Bahamas for the next couple of days. So we're asking motorists traversing the coastal streets of the northwest Bahamas over the next few days to exercise extreme caution, particularly during high tide when these waves are more pronounced. And our forecast for tonight calls for mostly cloudy conditions with a couple of showers still looking around. 75 degrees for your low temperature, and tomorrow it's going to be partly sunny, windy, and a bit humid with a couple of showers still in the mix. High temperature tomorrow, 84 degrees, and your extended weather forecast Things are getting a lot better, but we'll have some residual showers on Thursday, particularly during the morning and early afternoon hours. Thereafter, things improving. Friday looking good. We'll have, again, some showers working their way back into our forecast on Saturday and Sunday, but they'll be somewhat of an isolated nature. Makishla.
Well, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
This is John Pinder, MP for Central and South Abaco. I want to reach out to all Abaconians and make sure that we are mindful of being prepared for this upcoming hurricane season, whether in terms of food resources, water resources, flashlights and batteries, and know where your safe spot is to go to in case of a major storm.